Hi, everybody. This is the other case I'm covering. This is happening right now as we speak. Okay. So, to catch you guys up, the trial itself lasted 7 days, and now we're on verdict watch. That means that the jury is now in deliberations, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I would say a day. If you count a day as 8 hours, then maybe 2 days, maybe. Um, because I found out, which I kind of knew anyway, a little bit, but I do like to get the rules right. Um, as far as Michigan, and this case is in Michigan. Um, okay. The law is, did the parents provide a reasonable standard of care for their child? And the reason it has to be worded like that is because the anybody could argue, well, this kid presented with possible mental health problems, so that leads to a higher expectation. But no, we're talking about, like, okay, a layman, meaning anyone providing a normal standard of care for their child. Did the parents do that? I would say, if I had to guess, no. Because although they didn't have to know that he had mental problems, the way I read everything in the trial, as I was watching it, as I was watching and listening and everything, okay, the parents seem completely, well, the mother, anyway, I'll speak on the mother because that's the trial we just had, okay? The mother seems completely unaware, completely not self-aware at all. And her body language was completely off. And I'm backed up by, I saw a video done by Dr. G, and he is a more of an expert about body language than I am. And he said that the words she said and the way she said them just doesn't read right. And her behavior in the police station before being arraigned and everything, okay, was completely not right either. She was more on her phone and worried about herself than her kid. Um, okay, and I have evidence for that because in the trial they talked about she was more worried about work than her kid. Okay, and then also, she had the opportunity to take him home. They both did, and they said, no, leave him in school. And everyone's arguing maybe if they had taken him home from school, he wouldn't have done that. But then again, some other people argue that, okay, if he didn't do it that day and he did it the next day, are they still liable for that? Still guilty of that? So I don't know. But the timing of it, to me, is a big factor. And her behavior and just her answers to some basic questions, like, and I talked about this before, but when they asked her pointed questions of, do you wish that something different, do you wish you would have done something different? No. And for me, it was the way she answered it and the fact that she took no time to think about it. And also, I have to put in here that she's been in jail already for 2 years, at least 2 years. Okay. So you would assume, as a layman, and you're in jail, you have time to think about, you know, things you've done, things you've said, whatever. So then you would, okay, if it was me, I would be thinking about what could I have done differently? What would I have done differently? Something like that. And if someone asked me a kind of question of, are you sad about what happened? Yes. It would be automatically yes. And would you do anything differently? Yes. Or at least, if I had to think about it, I think about it and then say yes. But she was just adamantly like, no. And anything they asked her was no. Do you see that he probably had mental problems now, looking back on it? No. It's just that strange to me. Okay. So I would say, unless they get a hung jury, which means they can't come to the same decision, I would say they're probably going to convict her on guilty, because I also learned that, okay, there's 12 people deciding, okay? But the 12 people don't have to agree on which law they're talking about. They just have to agree. So I think that she's going to be found guilty because, in my estimation, from everything I know and my own gut feeling and everything, I'd say at the base, she's grossly negligent. And that's part of what you need to be convicted. That's one of the things that they have to check off. So I would say guilty. But I'd say it's probably the verdict is gonna come down tomorrow. But I could be wrong. But as always, I will update whenever I find anything out.